welcome back to the Marvel Show. I am Jack with my co-host Conrad,
Hi.
and today we are continuing on with our series of Spider-Man reviews leading up to the new release of Spider-Man Brand New Day, and today we are doing Spider-Man 2, directed by Sam Raimi, and
That's
starring...
the Doc Ock one.
Yes. Yeah. Good job.
I love
He
that.
remembers. But with Tom Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, and Alfred Molina. So, should we start with our... Actually, you know what? You had interesting thoughts on the first one. What was your thoughts on this one after the first
I
one?
loved it. It was a great movie, good villain, great plot.
Yep.
The villain had a great ending, except I feel like his death, which we'll probably get into later, like, it was a bit like, it didn't have to happen. It wasn't necessary, that death. That's my only critique.
Well, I think, because at the time, you gotta remember, they didn't realize that they were going to make No Way Home. But the way that they executed with No Way Home, it actually worked.
Yeah, that's what I'm... but the thing is, it wasn't the fact the change of heart that annoyed me. It was the reason that he didn't really have to die. With his arms, he could have just knocked, because at the start of the movie it showed how much the place was falling apart when he first came in. I'm pretty sure he could have knocked that into the ocean without having to die along with it.
Yeah, but the thing is that machine was bigger than the first one he did.
Yeah. I feel like he could have knocked it down without having to be in the way of the machine.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think once we get to No Way Home, which unfortunately will be a little later, but, I think... Because I think this is all relevant to No Way Home, so we'll kind of bring it all back when we talk about that movie. Because I think that was a big thing going into that movie was, does it destroy the character arc of Ock going no, actually, now I am actually able to control these arms, and, which in that movie, obviously they're back to the whole thing in this one where the arms are still in control, but they're kind of in unison of him controlling the arms, in a way, but they're telling him to go rob a bank.
Yeah.
So, just a little facts that you might find interesting. So, after the first Spider-Man, Tobey went to film a movie called Seabiscuit, which he rode a horse, and he got a bad injury riding that horse and broke his back. And he wanted a higher pay rate for Spider-Man 2, $25 million or whatever was higher of 10% of the gross.
Dang.
So, but then Dunst was dating Jake Gyllenhaal, which we'll talk about Jake Gyllenhaal when we get to Far From Home. But he was going to replace Tobey as Spider-Man.
Oh, so they were going to replace him.
Yeah, so they wanted to replace him if Tobey didn't come back. But then there was also a bit that the prop master put in one of the Daily Bugle scenes where, and I don't know when in the movie I read a fact about this and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But on one of the Daily Bugle newspapers says, does back pain lead to brain shrinkage?
That's so funny.
Just the prop master making fun of Toby. But here's another thing, because we'll talk about this when we get to Spider-Man 3, but many versions of the script actually had Ock teaming up with Sandman.
Oh, that could have been cool.
So, because he would have. I think the way that they used him in Spider-Man 3 would have kind of been the same like story that they would have used him in Spider-Man 2 of the sick daughter and all that. So I don't know how you will fit the sick daughter into this movie.
It was a very tight movie either way, especially with the arc. It already had two villain arcs with Goblin and Doc Ock. I don't think
Yeah.
it would fit in the third one.
Because it's kind of...
Unless you took what's it called? It's Goblin's out. New Gobs.
Oh, New Goblin. Yeah, well...
That's the only way I think you could have had Sandman. Is if you...
Well, you had to set up New Goblin anyway.
I know, you had to... Yeah, you had to set him up because it kind of like ramps up in intensity. It's kind of like a...
Yeah. So you kind of had to set that up anyway, and...
So, yeah, again, I don't think you could have had...
And then there was another thing that, like... you know how there were two lines in that first movie that kind of felt they were related to each other, where you had the great power comes great responsibility, and then at the end you had the "this is my gift, this is my curse."
No, I don't know that.
So at the end, when Peter's leaving the graveyard, and you hear that monologue that Peter's saying as he walks away from
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had that, but then the whole line that links those two bits together was actually in this movie, where it was the no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, it's the ones I love will always be the ones that pay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of that linking line that links that great power comes great responsibility, and this is my gift, this is my curse.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just, like, say, like, I love the Alex Ross paintings, recapping the first movie over the credits.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of the recap of the first movie over the credits?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't really have much of an opinion on it because I wasn't really watching, so...
Paint by one of the great Alex Ross, a great comic artist.
Oh, yeah, the comic book ones. That was so cool.
Yeah, not the one from the first movie, the one with the paintings.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, whole recapping the first movie. And then I think this is one of those ones, depending on the day, which I'm more... I think over these last two times I watched it, I liked it more than the first one. I don't know. Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
I don't know if that's because of the story overall, or it's just because I think that's a more cohesive film than the first one.
The first film just had so many, plot holes, but that's probably just me because I think about everything so...
Well, you're one of those people that always complains about not being accurate to the comics.
No, but it has a few plot holes. Like, he wouldn't have died from those injuries.
I mean, you could have said the same thing about Spider-Man 2, because that was our whole thing at the beginning of Ock actually, like, he could survive.
No, she would have died from that. That's like... Yeah, that's bad injuries. Her wife, his wife, those bad injuries. She would... If she didn't get proper medical attention soon, she would have died.
I mean, she died straight away.
Yeah, that's a bit... It depends on how fast the glass shards were going, how deep they got, if they hit any vital organs. But you can see directly where the glider hit, and it would not have killed him. No way in the world.
Yeah, like, I think... Because the glass one... Because... You haven't watched a lot of horror movies, but, like, Sam Raimi is a horror director. So, like, when you see the glass coming towards Rosie, and you have that whole spinning shot of the glass and Rosie's face reflected in the glass, that's not actually the speed that the glass is going. That's just to get that kind of horror shot.
Yeah.
So, like, the way that glass is actually going, it's actually going 10 times faster than it actually is in that shot.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's one of those things where it's like, the way that they film it is not necessarily accurate to how the normal speed of it is.
Oh,
But then, like, I feel like that the stuff that Peter's gone through in this movie is such relatable to everyone.
yeah. He's like struggling to make ends meet. His, like, never meet your idols is like one of the main plot points in this movie.
Yeah, like the whole school thing of when we first actually meet Dr. Connors, the lizard.
Yeah, I also love the way he stops being Spider-Man. That's really like it shows how he doesn't actually really want to be in this.
Yeah,
Uh,
and very much like the comic where it's the Spider-Man No More suit in the bin
is
and
that where I got the idea from? So I've been making some names for my comic books, and one of them is Anthro Skull Love No More, and I was like, I feel like I know that name from somewhere else, but yeah, that must be where I got it from.
yeah, Spider-Man No More is the storyline of him giving up being Spider-Man. So let's talk about this because this is something that especially you've been confused about through the movie. How did you think about the whole losing powers plot?
Yeah, that didn't really make sense. Even if it was love, it still doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Like, there's no biological reason. Maybe he's not getting enough dopamine, but like, it makes sense like in movie, but like, it doesn't even make sense movie-wise. Like, nothing about that plot makes sense.
Well, you gotta remember they didn't do the mechanical web shoes. They couldn't do the running out webs plotline because of the mechanical webs. They had to figure out a way to do the
You know what
organic
you could have done?
webs.
You could have made it that, oh no, Peter's body doesn't produce webs enough webs for the amount of webs that he uses.
But the thing is that he's a spider, and the spider can produce a lot of webs.
Exactly. So say he's doing a lot of being Spider-Man. I don't know. He's running out of webs because say his web glands are running out of webs. They're not
Like-
he can't have an infinite fuel source.
Like, I feel like that... Because I actually listened to a thing the other day, and I thought it was interesting that all of the, like, especially at the end where we get that amazing coffee scene of Peter saving MJ in the car coming through the window.
Oh, that's a cool scene, by the way.
And,
I love the few scenes in that movie, like the one where Aunt May gets attacked. I think that's actually not.
oh, yeah. Shame on you. Smash with the
I've seen
bloody...
edits of that as well.
Smash with the umbrella. But, like, But in that coffee scene, it made me realize that, like, the whole losing powers plot all relates back to MJ and how much he loves MJ.
Yeah, it's like a.
But she's the whole reason why he is Spider-Man in the first place. Not necessarily the responsibility part of it, but she was the reason why he got bit by the spider.
Yeah. In the end,
And then he was also the one who wanted to impress her. Because he also wanted to impress her, if you remember, and that's why he went to the wrestling ring and end up being Spider-Man.
Exactly.
So it was all related to MJ. So I think the whole losing the powers was that the more he was, like, the further away he got from MJ, the further he got away from his powers too.
Yeah. It will just, like, for plot's sake it's great, but for, like, me being all, like, science-y, I enjoy the science of movies. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think there are some people that don't like the fact that, and this is not just this movie, this is the Tobey Spider-Man world as a whole, that people don't like Tobey Spider-Man just because he's not that sciencey. Like,
Oh yeah,
because like they don't need to make him a complete scientist, which people think that he needs to be a complete scientist. In the first one, he's talking to Norman about how he's read all of Norman's papers of all the science stuff that he's studied. He's talking to Ock about his machine that he's making and how it all works and all that. And he's asking these very scientific questions that us, the audience, that aren't really scientists, don't know jack crap about.
yeah.
So, like, I think they're doing it in ways that aren't like the way that Tom or Andrew are, where they're actually making their own webs or making the web shooters
Yeah.
and stuff like
I
that.
do like the part of him making his own webs though. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah, I think that's more true to the character of Spider-Man, but I think that this way is... This universe is more subtle of how Peter Parker is actually a scientist.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other versions where they're trying to throw it in your face going like, no, he's actually a scientist.
Yeah.
Like in the MCU, he goes to a tech school.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's just one of those things where it's like... It's interesting seeing how the divide between the Spider-Man fans feel about Tobey, and because he's not necessarily like the other ones.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think that... Now, let's talk about the action in this movie. I think they've stepped it up since the first one.
Yeah.
Like, that whole train scene is...
Oh, that's such a cool scene, and it really
It's
shows
probably
how
one of the
community- like, how
It's one of the best Spider-Man fights we'll ever get.
Also, it really shows how the community, even though Spider-Man's being made to be this villain, the community still believes that Spider-Man is a good guy. And, yeah, I think it's just a really nice scene overall. I love that scene.
Yeah, and I think that I even like the bank scene where, like, Toby throws back the money and is like, here's your change!
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's one of those things where, like, Toby doesn't do a lot of Spider-Man clips, but when he does, they really work.
Yeah.
Like, none of them...
like more Spider-Man quips. Spider-Man just is known for his quips.
Yeah. And I think that, like, Spider-Man 2 is the one that, at least, like, I mean, the other ones nail the clips too, but, like, the first one can be a bit too cheesy at times with the clips. Like, the whole Gobby line, when they're in the fire building and he's like, it's you who's out, Gobby, out of your mind!
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you get a bit too cheesy, or he's mean even before he gets the symbiote on him, where he's talking to... We haven't got up to this yet, but when he's talking to Sandman, he's like, I guess you haven't heard, I'm the sheriff around these parts.
He's good with his jokes.
Yeah, so it's like, you have really good jokes in these movies, but I think because they've got more tighter scripts for these next two, they kind of nail the clips better in these next two.
Yeah.
So, MJ. Let's talk about MJ, because I think MJ is an interesting character.
MJ looks different in this movie. In the last episode, I thought I would come into the MJ part talking about how her hair looks different.
So, let's start off with that then. Like, what, like, hair-wise did you
More
think
of an
looked better?
actual redhead then.
Yeah. And that's what we said in the last one. Like, down the trilogy, her hair gets more like a traditional red head.
Yeah.
But like, overall, what, like, hair did you like better? Did you like the first hair better or this movie's hair?
I like the last movie's Uh,
You could tell that was a wig though.
yeah, you could tell it was a wig, but it really looked like.
It looks
Uh,
like MJ.
it looks like MJ in the last movie. Yeah.
Yeah, which like I think this one was more of your like more natural redhead.
Yeah.
And like so, what do we think about the the John Jameson plot line?
The John Jameson plotline. I feel like
Yeah.
that was really sad for him.
Like
I felt really sorry for him.
I think that's one of those things where like I know. I feel like MJ can be a very douchey character at times, especially this MJ.
Yeah.
Like, she's dumping people left and right. She dumped Flash in the last one. She's dumped John Jameson because he's not Peter Parker and stuff like that. And, like, what felt very weird to me about that scene was that we see Harry Osborn at the wedding, and then the next time we see him, he's back worrying about Peter and seeing his dead father in the mirror.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very weird cut. Because it looks like that the whole Norman Osborn mirror scene was meant to take place after Peter leaves to go rescue MJ.
Anyway, what else?
What else? Let's talk about the horror elements in this movie. We can't hit on it before, but like, what did you feel like about the horror elements in this movie?
It wasn't too horror.
Like, because what, we had the glass bit?
Yeah, that's...
And then we had the arms. The Ock arms. Going crazy in the hospital.
That was about it.
Well, I think that the arms bit was kind of a showing them that they're trying to survive because everyone else is trying to cut them off.
Yeah.
So I think that was more like us getting the arms as characters and not just the accessory of the arms.
Yeah.
Which I think I actually really liked that scene. It's a very scary scene.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about some other scary moments in Spider-Man movies when we go down the movies. But, and then, there was something else. J. Jonah Jameson. How do we feel like about J. Jonah Jameson this go around?
Oh, I love him. He's so iconic. Gripping pictures of Spider-Man.
Or even the, when they're coming up for a name for Doc Ock and they mention Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But it's taken. Does that tie into Secret Wars?
Hopefully J. Jonah Jameson knows all about Secret Wars, and he is like the main, like, he runs the entire show behind the scenes. Of course.
Oh, of course. It's ridiculous. Like, and I think that this movie, do we think that this movie deserves the praise of best superhero movie of all time?
No. I feel like there's a lot better films. It's a great film, but it's not the best.
Like, I feel like that it got me. I'm not gonna lie though. It has taken me a while to come to that statement because, like, even though that I think the first two films are easily 10 out of 10s for me, it took me a while to go like, is it really one of the best superhero movies of all time? I think the first one needs to get that praise because one, its importance, and also the way that I know you disagree, but the way that, to me, how that movie of the era that came out and how important it is and how well, like, Defoe's Goblin is,
Oh, I love Defoe's Goblin.
and like even Molina's Ock. I think those two are the gold standard for comic book villains.
They would be on the comic book movie Wall of Fame for me.
And like they would even be on the Mount Rushmore of comic book movie villains.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely the way to do it. Because like as long as you have a good villain, and a good hero, normally you can kind of somewhat give the other stuff a pass. Is there something else that we need to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it for Spider-Man 2.
Please subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us, is that the best comic book movie of all time? Because Jack
Yes,
kind of
absolutely.
agrees with it, but when did we ever listen to Jack's opinions?
Screw you.
I'll see you in the next video.
Alright, see you guys.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.